Hello, guys. Um, while watching some of the interviews and while interacting with some of my colleagues and friends and clients, so to say, one peculiar point came into discussion. People, because of fear of failure and rejection, tend to not take any chances in their lives. They can see the opportunities in front of them, but they will not take the first step because they fear that we may get rejected, or they fear that we may fail in those activities and in those opportunities. This is a very bad situation because until unless we try, until unless we make the most of the opportunity that's in front of us, how are we going to prove ourselves? For example, while looking at Ranveer Alawadia's interview with Radhika Gupta, who is Edelweiss MD and CEO, Radhika Gupta madam mentioned that while in University of Pennsylvania, where she did MNT, which is a very prestigious course, and after that she was rejected in 7 consecutive interviews, and she thought of committing suicide. This is a bad situation. While watching one more interview, Johnny Liver tried committing suicide even as a child because of the pressure from his father. Similarly, there are also a lot of instances wherein very powerful, influential, and famous personalities have tried committing suicide because of fear of rejection or failure. For example, Princess Diana, Martin Luther King, Elton John. There are so many, Oprah Winfrey, for example. There are so many people who have unfortunately reached a stage wherein Owen Wilson, one of my favorite actors, unfortunately, they have reached a stage wherein they could not see any way out of those rejections and negativity and failures. But this can be managed. The important point here is people, especially the Gen Z, they are of entitled mentality. They don't expect to get failure, to face failure, or to get rejected by anybody under any circumstances. So this is the issue that we are facing on a lot broader scale. The fear of rejection or fear of failure is the basic risk zone, or we can say discomfort, wherein or based on which a lot of people have built their careers and their lives. So looking at this specific objective, looking at this specific aspect of fear of rejection and failure is very important. And if at all you are fearing of rejection, or if at all you are fearful of failure, you must speak to a support system, you must speak to your family, you must speak to your friends, you must speak to counselors, you must speak to government helplines that are available, and you must speak to people like us who can at least help you from career driving perspective or career growth perspective. There are so many other things that can be done to make sure that you are aware that as a life is never fair to all of us. There are going to be instances where there are chances of failure. There are going to be instances where you will be rejected in your interviews, in your life, in your relationships, in your financial, social, political, professional endeavors, and it is a part and parcel of life. Rejection and failure are part and parcel of life. This is the basic understanding we must have. Then and then only we can make progress. So just to give on a lighter note, looking at fears and failures in lives, movie making, for example. Movies tend to entertain us, movies tend to soothe us, movies tend to help us pass time, and movies also can help us learn from those stories, those characters, and those instances that how we can tackle life, how we can tackle failures, how we can tackle success, and how we can grow as a person, as an individual, in relationship, in personal and professional capacity, as well as social and political capacity. So there can be multiple movies that can be seen to overcome this fear of failure or fear of rejection. Let me suggest 7 movies, so to say. 7 seems to be a very good number. Let me suggest 7 movies that can immediately help you overcome this fear of failure and fear of rejection. Fear of this rejection and failure, part and parcel of life. How do we approach it? How are we going to approach and how are we going to react are the most important things. And once we take it in positive sense that fears and failures, rejections and failures are part and parcel of the life, and these are only stepping stones to move up, to grow in life, is a fantastic opportunity. So this is the best way of looking at things which are inevitable. The failures and rejections are inevitable. We must look at it as opportunities in disguise that are pushing us to grow as an individual, as a professional, or in relationships. So let us have a look at some of the movies, the 7 movies that can help us overcome this fear of rejection and fear of failure. First is obviously 3 Idiots. Rancho, as you are aware, Rancho Das Chanchad, Farhan Nitrate, that is Farhan Qureshi, and Raju Rastogi. These 3 gentlemen, they are fearful of rejection, they are fearful of failures, they have failed in certain aspects of their lives, they are fearful of certain rejections in their lives, and they are still working. And the story of Three Idiots is how these three people come together and overcome all those fears of failures and fears of rejection. It's a very nice movie. You must watch it. The second Ye Jawani Hai Diwani. This is a 2013 movie by Deepika Padukone and Ranbir Kapoor. So Naina and Bunny. The story is of a medical student, and Bunny is Bunny basically he's a fear of rejection, and he is not able to pursue his creativity in the form of photography. So Naina's fear of failure, Naina's fear of not rejection, basically not being accepted as an individual introvert character, not being first of all accepted in a relationship, and the fear of rejection plus failure in the relationships, it keeps her away from all the friends and families and society in general. And they come together in the form of hiking, and how do they come together, and how they as individuals overcome these fears of rejection and fear of failure is a fantastic story. Then obviously there is Queen. In 2013, Kangana Ranaut did a fantastic job in the form of Queen movie. She played a character of Rani Mehra, who gets rejected on the day of marriage, and her future husband tells her that she will not be able to match her quality of life, and hence the marriage is getting cancelled. So she is already rejected. She is already failed in the relationship before even it starts. So this is the acceptance of rejection and acceptance of failures on the journey. So Rani basically requests the family to later go on the pre-booked honeymoon to Paris and Amsterdam, and how it changes her as a person, how it exposes her as a person to different cultures, different life styles and different locations, and how it improves her as an individual, and how she takes care of her. How she takes control of her life is a story of Queen, a fantastic movie. Then there is Pick Up Seed, 2009 Yash Johar movie, again played by Siddharth Mehra, played by gentleman Ranbir Kapoor, again fantastic movie again. Now Siddharth as a character is a rich and lazy person who is shying away from taking any responsibility in life, and his father then throws him out of the home, and then he struggles for his self-discovery, realization, and how he comes up in life, and how he takes the responsibility of life, and how he takes control of the life, and how he progresses in life is the story of Wake Up Seed. Again, a fantastic movie. Then there is the Lunchbox 2013 movie. Irfan Khan, Sajan Fernandez, and Ila Singh, played by Nimrat Kaur. So Irfan Khan plays and Nimrat did a wonderful job. So this is Nimrat as Ila Singh as a character she is failing in a marriage, and Sajan Fernandez as a character is already a widower and fearful of rejection again in the relationships, and hence not approaching anybody, just waiting to get retired and get lost. So this kind of situation where both of them are fearful of rejection again, and they both of them are facing the failures in their personal and professional lives, specifically. So this is a fantastic story of they coming together, not physically, not face to face, but through letters and lunch boxes, and how they come together to support each other, how they grow mutually, and how do they take on their lives again is a beautiful story, a positive story. Then there is English Winglish, again a story of a housewife who is not very good at English, and she is getting ridiculed by her husband and daughter, and she gets a chance. Shashi Godbole is a character played by Sridevi, a fantastic acting performance by Sridevi in this movie. This movie English Winglish was our entry in Oscars for best foreign movie. So this is when as a Shashi Godbole as a housewife, she's not very conversant with English, and then she gets an opportunity to go to US and she has 5 weeks before the actual event of marriage, and she utilizes this time available in US to learn more about English and fine-tune her English. And this is the story of how Shashi Godbole, a housewife, overcomes the fear of failure again, a fear of rejection because of not his inability to speak English, and how she delivers the 5-minute speech about how in the society and in the family you should not be commenting and you should not be ridiculing the weaknesses of people or to grow together. And she gets a certificate of completion, of course. So this is again a fantastic story. Then there is Rocket Singh, the Salesman of the Year, 2009 movie by Ranbir Kapoor again. Harpreet Singh Bedi is a BCom with 39% marks. He gets a job in a computer company and assembly and services company, and then he fails because of the honesty shown. He complains about the client who is asking for bribes. Then the company ridicules him and corners him because of his honesty, and then obviously he's fearful of rejection and acceptance. So again, he discovers himself. He discovers his strengths and skills, and without compromising on his values, he starts his own organization and how it stands up to the organization which had employed him. So this is a fantastic story of self discovery and fear, overcoming the fear of rejection and failure. And this is how the movie, the acting skills of all these 7 movies, the acting skills, the performances, the characters, the incidences are fantastic. We must be able to learn from these movies about how do these characters overcome their fear of rejection and fear of failure. Now, this fear of failure and fear of rejection is not only applicable to people who are struggling like us. For example, they apply to all the people, influential, powerful celebrities all across the globe. The mentality is same. So though the people may be successful and very rich and very powerful in front of us, in front of camera, in the society, as an individual, they may be fearful of rejection. They may be fearful of failures. Again, this plays a very important role in their lives. You will not believe some of the most powerful people have committed because of the fear of rejection and failure. Very famous personalities have tried committing suicide. For example, Princess Diana, Martin Luther King, the best leader, Oprah Winfrey, Owen Wilson, the actor. So there are so many other things. Elton John, for that matter, Johnny Lever, as we discussed, Radhika Gupta, as we discussed, Edelweiss, MD and CEO. So people are basically going to the extreme ends before going there. They should get in touch with their support systems, families, friends, relationships, and people like us who can help. And most importantly, helplines provided by government that can counsel you, that can help you, that can help you, that can motivate you, and that can help you come out of that morass or that dead end from where it is extremely important to come back and lead our lives to prosperity, to growth, and to success. So overcoming this fear of failure and fear of rejection, while understanding that these rejections or failures are part and parcel of life, is essential, basic human skill of 20th century, this century, and it will always remain same in the coming centuries. Thank you very much.